Where's my clock? There it is. Hello. I wonder who's out there today. It's miserable here. It's absolutely disgusting out of my window. It is blowing and it is rainy and it is very nasty at the moment. So I've got someone there. Great. Can you hear me better today? Let me see if I've got the volume up full. Yep, I think so. Right, let me know that you can hear me because I don't know what's been happening the last couple of days because it seems all right. Hello, nice to see you. Right, Morwenna, nice to see you. I had a nice clinic art lesson this morning with a lady for half an hour, and she showed me some of her pictures, and then we went through how she could be even better next time. And she put a really nice comment up on my Facebook just now. So I think everyone's always surprised. The way I teach when I'm teaching professionally isn't quite how I'm teaching you now. It's very much honing in on where the issue's coming from and how you can correct it. So you learn very quickly. Hi Carol, nice to see you. Can you all hear me all right today? Because I know there was a problem with the sound the other day, and I do apologise because I don't know what to do about it. I don't know why it happened. Am I clear today? I do hope so. Let me get it up as loud as I can. Hello, Emily and Anita. Nice to see you both. Let me get my spotty mug and have the essential sip of tea before we start. Is there anybody else there? Say hi to me. It's always nice to know who's out there, and we'll start in a moment. I do worry about myself. I think I've been in lockdown too long. Oh, Pamela Gray. No, you can't hear me. Is that right? Is that what the no is? I don't know. My volume's up as full as it will go. So I hope that's okay. Yes, I think I've been in lockdown too long because my ideas are getting seriously weird at the moment. So please bear with me with this one. It can be a bit of fun, I think. So we'll give it a go and see what you all come up with. Can people hear me or not? I'm wondering if that's what Pamela's no is. Or it might not be. I could be wrong. For anyone who's new, just quickly my little bit, which is I do professional art lessons as well. Very, very quick learning, completely different. A lady did one this morning with me. Oh. I don't know why I'm so quiet. That is so odd. Is that making it any better? I wonder if that will help. Don't know. Okay, I'll make myself a bit closer. Maybe if I turn it towards me a bit. If I come up closer, is that any better? I hope so. I'm sorry, it must be something to do with my phone. I have no idea how to resolve it. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, I do professional art lessons. They're completely unique. I've used them with huge organisations around the world like UK Sport, Discovery Channel, Neuroscience, Oxford University. Very fast learning because you're learning the reasoning why. So 3-hour progress, 10-year-old girl not copying. And this one here, 3 hours on perspective. Even architects have said they couldn't believe what they learnt. 3 hours on paint and brush technique, generic to all mediums. Then I start specialising a bit with people. 5 lesson progress, 90-year-old stroke victim. 4 lesson progress, 50-year-old German lady. 3 lesson progress, 40-year-old Sri Lankan man. In which case, it's really anybody. It's nothing to do with what you believe as natural talent. It's what I refer to as the grammar, spelling and punctuation of art. I think the lady I taught this morning, as with anyone I teach, was actually surprised how I teach and what I'm teaching you, because I'm teaching you the nitty-gritty about why it works. This is more the fluffy stuff I'm teaching you here in these art lessons. So anyway, I think we should start. Now, as I said, I apologise for today because I'm getting a bit weird because I've had too much time at home coming up with weird ideas. Now, let me see. I hope you can all still hear me. Let's move that over there a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to, shift my mirror so I can see you on the screen. All right, that means I can see it. So hopefully you can all see. I hope the words aren't getting in your way on this. They might be, I suppose. I'm not sure how successful that's going to be. Maybe I'll hold it up to you, it might be easier. Okay, so we'll go back up again. I think it's going to be easier because then at least I can see if anyone's struggling to hear. So the plan for today is this. You've got two toilet rolls. I've painted one white. You could glue white paper on this or something. You don't need to right now. But I painted one white. You could stick with glue white paper on one, or you can just do it straight onto the cardboard, but it was just to say you could. Now in my case, one toilet roll is already smaller than the other, which is what we want. So you want one that will go into the other. If your toilet rolls though are the same size, what I would then suggest you do is cut one of them like that and cut the tiniest little sliver out, and it would be really tiny, so you'd cut let me get it there, like that, a little bit out, and it only has to be a fraction. Then you'd sellotape this back together, and then you'd have one smaller than the other. So they basically need to be almost the same size, but one fractionally smaller than the other. So I'm just going to take that one back together. Mine was okay because it was already smaller, but now it's probably too small, but you'll get the idea. So if I take this back together, I'm going to tape it back together a little bit open because I need it a bit bigger. Right, there we go. Right, so there's my inside toilet roll, and there's my outside toilet roll. Now the inside one is, for the moment, totally unimportant. We're going to put that one away. We're going to keep the outside one. So the outside one's the one I want. Now, here's a very rough one I did earlier. I sound like a Blue Peter lady now. And what I did was I took the outside one like this, or the inside one, and I cut the toilet roll into three. So I cut it into three sections after I'd drawn the legs on it. So here you've got the legs, but you've got round the corner here a different pair of legs, and round the corner here you've got a different pair of legs. Then I did the body, and that sits on the top, and if I swizzle them round, you can see how the different body can go with the different legs. And this was one I think it was with, it's the little girl one. And then I had the head section which went on the top. So there's my little girl, she's a bit weird. Round the corner is my clown, who looks a bit more like a convict. And round the corner, this was meant to be a businessman. I have to say I doubt my own ability to draw sometimes. So that's my three people round my toilet roll. But then of course we can swizzle them. So now the little girl has a clown's body, and if we swizzle her feet, she's got the businessman's feet. And round here we've got the clown's head, but with the businessman's body and the little girl's legs, and so it goes on. So it's just a bit of nonsense. And with this, what you could do is then use it on your desk as a pencil holder or something. And you could get more elaborate and make a bottom for it if you wanted to. You could maybe even, like, this is from my, these things that I use when I'm doing art. You could even maybe glue something into something like that, and then you could twizzle it around, you could make it a pencil holder. But the idea was basically the fact that we could make a rotating person on the tube. So that's the plan. Now you can do it with three people round like I did, and three people's quite good, but I think on this one I'm only going to do it with 2 people to make it easier for you to see. And that's why I painted it white partly, so you could see what I was doing. And I need to know where I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to cut this into 3. And so what I want to do is find something like even this that I can sit it in. And if I hold the pencil like that and twist, let me go down a bit, sorry, you'll be able to see what I'm doing, and twist like that, I could make a line that came all the way around the toilet roll like that, and that might be the legs bit. Then if I turn it up the other way like that, and again hold the pencil in horizontally like that, and then turn the tube, I'm getting another line round there. And now I've got the 2 lines. Now what I have to remember now is that, I'm going to do it this way up, the head has to be finishing on that line, and the legs have to be starting on this line, and the middle bit has to be the body. Now, as always, I'm going to draw in felt pen only so you can see what I'm doing. So I don't want you drawing in felt pen yet, I'd rather you did it in pencil. And we'll have a quick go at this. So first of all, I'm going to do the head, and I'm going to do a little girl again. And we did faces the other day, so if I do her face here, and I'm going to give her little cheeks, and I'm going to put her eyes up like this. So there's one eye, there's the other eye, and I'm going to give her a nose. Now I would do all this if I was you in pencil first, just so you're sure what you're doing. This looks more like a boy with big ears now to me. So maybe that's what I should make it. I'm going to make it into a boy with ears. So I'm going to make those into his ears. And then I'm going to give him some funny hair. Right, there we go. So there's my little boy. And I'm going to be a bit daft and give him some eyelashes as well, just because I feel like it. So there's my little boy. And then I'm going to draw his neck coming down, like that. And I know that's the width of his neck. And so if I do another head, maybe I will do 3 round here. I know that each time I want the neck to be that wide. Now that wide is the width of my finger. That makes it quite easy. So I'm going to come round over here now. And I'm going to work out where I could put, if 1 is there, then 2 would go there, and 3, sorry, if 1 is at the top here, 2 will be about here and 3 will be about there. I'm going to use my finger to work out how wide the neck is. And there we go, I've measured my, oh, off screen, sorry, I've used my finger to measure the neck. There's the neck for the next one. Now the next one I'm going to make a clown. So this one's going to have the big round face like we did before. So using some of the things we've done before. I'm going to do the 2 crosses, and obviously you might use all sorts of colours. And I'm going to do a great big clown smile and a round nose there. Whoops. And I might give him some funny eyebrows like that. It's a very weird looking clown. I do apologise, my drawing today is not very good. And I'm going to give him some sticky out hair by the side of his head, a bald top of his head, and some sticky out hair on the other side. So that's my clown. He doesn't look particularly funny. He looks a bit like he's a hair advert or something, but there we go. So we've got little boy face there, clown face there. So the last one, I'm going to make it a girl. So I'm going to fit her, there's one and there's the other. I'm going to fit her in the middle there and use my finger again to get the width of her neck. And then I'm going to do a little girl. So I've got to make her look prettier than the last one because the other 2 have looked a bit odd. So let's just make her look a bit better. So here goes her mouth and her nose. And I'm going to give her nice big eyes. And I'm going to give her a bit of a fringe and some longer hair that's going to come down to her shoulders. I'm going to do the same the other side. Now obviously you can be using all sorts of colours and things. I'm just using this because you can see me. There you go. And I'll give her a couple of eyelashes because I feel like it. And some little dots there. There she is. So there's my little girl. So we've now got 3 heads around. Now I'm going to do the 3 bodies, but I've got to remember their legs are going to start on the other line. So the little girl, she can be wearing a frilly collar, and I'm going to do her arms kind of behind her back so they're out of the way. So I'm going to pretend that her arms coming out and behind like this, like that, and then I'm going to draw her dress coming down, and I'm going to do a frilly bottom on the dress there and bring it up like that, and then I'm going to do little ends of her sleeves and put her arms sort of tucking round behind her back. Just 1 second please. Sorry. And so we've done that, and then on this side I'm going to put the frilly bit on her sleeve again and then tuck her arm round behind, and I might put a little bit of stitching across her dress here, make it look a bit prettier, and I might put another row of lace just on the bottom of her dress like that. So that's my little girl. Now the clown, he can be wearing something else completely, but I'm going to put his arms behind his back again. So I'm going to give him a great big frilly collar, like that. And then I'm going to give him, I think I'm going to give him like pajama ones, so he can come out like this with his arms. Here's his body. And I'm going to do pom-poms down the front of him like this. Right, so there's his pom-poms. And I could do him a couple of little patches on his clothes, a bit like those teddy bears we did. So I'm bringing a few lessons together here. He's got a couple of patches on his clothes as well. There we go. Right, so there's my clown. And now we've got the little boy, so I'm going to put him in a shirt. So we can go around, and he's going to be wearing a shirt. So I'm going to put the shadows in here by his collar, and then I'm going to give him a shirt, and he's going to have his arms again round behind his back to get rid of them out of the way. And then he can be standing there in his t-shirt. Right, so there he is. Looks a bit like a Boy Scout for some reason. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but never mind. And then I'm going to give him an end to his jumper there. And just because it does look like a Boy Scout, which wasn't my plan, but I'm going to do that so it looks like a Scout's thing. Okay, so we've got him now. And we've got the 3 people, so they go round. And then we're going to do their legs. So I'm going to give her little legs like that, and then show her knees and the bottom of her legs. And then I'm going to show the front of her shoe like this, so that we're seeing her shoes straight on like that. And I'm going to give her some tiny little socks as well. Okay. She's not the prettiest little girl in the world, but I think she's all right. She'll do. We're going to finish the clown now, so we've got to get his legs in the bottom bit. So he's going to have baggy pants like this. And he can have a frill around the bottom of his trousers like that. And then I'm going to give him some really big shoes. So he's got those shoes that go right up with a bendy toe in the air. So that's meant to be a shoe. Doesn't look much like a shoe. As I said, I do worry sometimes when I come up with these ideas. Right, there we go. That one looks more like a shoe. So there we go. So there's my clown. And then the last one is my little boy. So I'm going to give him a pair of shorts and some knobbly knees, and then a pair of socks and shoes again. There we go. So we've got 3 people. Now these 2 for me are a bit too close together. I should have moved her around a little bit, but never mind. I might, because she's got a little bit of room. So we've got that. Thank you, whoever just said my ideas are amazing. As I said, I worry about myself sometimes. I lay in bed coming up with these crazy ideas. Now we could colour these in a bit, obviously, and I would do all of that before we'd cut out. So I'm going to make her skirt pink and things like that. So there she goes. And I might give her pink socks as well. And I'm being a bit boring because I've only got very limited colours here in front of me at the moment. But I might make my boy... Ooh, I can't get my pen part. Oops, there we go. Right. I'm going to give him a green tie. This thing here, whatever it is. I could pretend he's got a bit of a green cap on up there somewhere, if I wanted to, like that. And I'm going to give him green socks. And then I'm going to give my clown some green patches on his trousers and his top. And I think that's all the green I want on him. I'm going to give him a pink mouth. And I'm going to give him pink pom-poms on his front. And I might even give him like a checkered outfit. I could make him like Andy Pandy. How many of you are old enough here to remember Andy Pandy? Except he was blue and white, not pink and white. There, so he's got like Andy Pandy stripes. And what else have I got here? I've got a red. What can I do with that? I think I might give this little boy red shorts. Oh, it's orange. I do apologise. There we go. So he's got orange shorts. And I'm going to do, I don't know, I can't really think of what else to put on it, but you get the idea. Another nice idea might be to actually let the background be black. Or you could actually even draw a view on the background. I mean, I suppose we could draw like grass and that as if they were all standing in the park. I've got to say, this doesn't work with social distancing, does it? Because they're all way too close together, but we can make out they're all standing in a park together maybe. Or we could have done black between them. You could paint a view, you could do something else, but there we go. Now, when we've done all of that, the next thing we've got to do is cut through it. Now, you might find it hard with scissors. You might find it easier to put a little bit of a knife blade in if you're old enough and you've got a parent there to help you, and then kind of use that to get a place to cut in. But I'm going to do it just with scissors, but I'm going to use that line that we made for their heads, and I'm folding it a little bit, and I'm using big craft scissors, and I'm going to start cutting it like that. Then I'm going to stop, so you can see I've started it. Then I'm going to poke my scissors into that hole like we've done before, and then I'm going to cut round the rest like that, making sure that we end up in line. Right, so off comes their heads. That sounds horrible. There we go. There's their heads. Next we're going to cut their bodies off. So I'm doing the same here. I'm cutting into the line there that I've already done. This time I might just cut straight through on the line, doing it like that, because we can open it up again afterwards. I think it's quite nice having painted it a colour first rather than sticking something on it. Now we've got the 3 sections. Now if I go back to this is my middle toilet roll. If I put the feet on first now, There goes my feet. Now I can put on my bodies. And I think that is the little girl, isn't it? There, that's right. And then I can put heads on. Now there's my little girl. Here's my clown. And here's my, oops, I'm wobbling them. There's my little boy. And now if I twist this one round, she's now a Girl Scout. And if I twist it round again, we've now got, I'm not quite sure what that is, that looks quite odd, but that's a Clown Scout, right? And if I twiddled the legs now, let's go back to going to give her a, we'll make her a Girl Scout again. And now I could twiddle the legs and make her a Girl Scout with clown's feet. And if I twiddle it again, we could come up with, oh, she's back in a dress at the bottom now, but she's a Girl Scout wearing a dress. And basically this poor clown here, he's really suffering. Oh, this one's quite funny. We can have a bit of a giggle with these. And, well, there she is. She looks like she's wearing some sort of baby grow there. And basically you can just twiddle them around, and you could make this a picture of birds or something. It could be a bird that twiddled around, it could be monsters, it could be like characters that boys play with on Lego. You could do 3 characters and twiddle them around, and basically the one toilet roll is supporting the other so you can twiddle. And as I said, oops, you could use it then as a pen holder or something. You'd need to stick it onto something at the bottom. But I like this idea that you could separate it. Now, if you like that idea, you can do exactly the same like this. So if we take some sheets of paper and fold them in half, and then you could use the light box again. So you've got pieces of paper. Again, we'd measure and make 3 lines, but I'm not going to cut all the way through, so I'm going to cut 3 lines again, but to about ½ an inch or a couple of fingers away from the end. And it's exactly the same idea, just in a different way. Fold, I probably should have folded it first and then cut to the fold. That would have been a better idea. But we've got that now. And now what we can do is do the same. So we could draw, on the top one this time, we could draw a face. So if I draw this sideways for you, I might take you over to my board and lean on that for a minute. That will be easier for me. I do that. Woo. So let me just get you back up again. There you go. So this time if we do it, we've got this over by the board. Hopefully you can see it there. And we could draw the head on the top one here. And I could do it something completely different this time. A boy with crazy hair and some big eyes and a nose and a mouth, and there's his neck. And then I can do the same, put his arms behind his back. You don't have to in this one, but I think it's an easier way around it. And there's his body again. And then this could be the end of his jumper or anything, and then we're down to his legs here. And we'd finish that one off. And I'm doing this really quickly, but you can see the idea. Then on the next page, with the 3 lines, we're going to do another picture. So you can do these one at a time. And this is a bit like our flick book again as well. So I'm going to do another picture here. Again, I'm only drawing in felt pen so you can see me. Please don't draw straight in felt pen. Always just prepare in pencil. So I'm going to give her huge, long, curly, whirly hair. There we go, and there's her neck, and then she's going to be wearing her arms behind her back again, and she's in a skirt again, this one. And she's got a pattern across it and some lace and things. And then her legs on the bottom one. So there's my little girl, and you could do a number of them, but then depending on which head or which body we have showing, we can start changing it. So it's also a little bit like the dress up doll that we did. It's the same idea, and you can flick backwards and forwards through all the different people that you put in your book. And in this book, I've got 1 page, 2 pages, I've got another 2 pages, so I could do 2 more people, and I could even turn it over and do 4 more people from this side, so I had other options. And again, something I think would be fun would be do it of your family members. And if you did it with your family members, you know, do everybody, and you could have a bit of a giggle swapping everybody's bodies and things around. The only thing is, try and make sure that you keep the neck and like the width of the body similar, because then things will line up when you open and shut them. And that's a good reason to hold it to a window when you do it, so you can make sure you're lining them up. But you could have 4 people this way that you could mess with, and you could actually still have 4 people that went the other way as well. So here we go. We've got toilet roll twirly version, and we've got flick booky version of the same thing. So you're changing who's wearing what and whose head goes with which body, and so it goes on. So ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that you've enjoyed it. I will see you again on Thursday. I will see what I come up with by then. As I always say, if you're interested in these lessons, if you don't want the full course, I do half-hour clinics, and you will be amazed at how much you learn in that. A half-hour clinic is £35. I'm terrible though, I inevitably go over time if I'm enjoying working with you, so you get more than your money's worth in the end, but you will find that it will completely transform how you're looking at your art, so keep an eye on that. I do Zoom lessons, the course, and I'm also doing parties with my son James, who's an international juggler based in Australia, in Sydney. So he and I have been running Zoom parties together, with him coming in from Australia and me from the UK doing art and juggling. So keep those ideas in your mind, and I will see you again on Thursday. Please like and share. Please put comments up on Facebook and on my TripAdvisor Art at the Beach Newquay. And if I can do anything to help you in any way, don't hesitate to talk to me, and yeah, give me a call, or just ask to have a chat if you'd like to know anything more about anything. No obligations, so don't worry, I'm never going to force you into anything. So thank you ever so much, take care, and bye.